Hey guys, just want to say quickly before this video starts, thank you so much for 1,000 subs. It's super strange to me that 1,000 of you guys like the dumb content I make, but hopefully going forward I'll be able to upload more of my dumb stuff and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Now, on to the video. Right, so it's been a while since I looked at a good old wrestling game on this channel, which I think is probably because I got burnt out from playing bad 2K games.
It works. It just works.
But anyway, I thought it's high time that I look at another game which features a lot of big beefy men in it. So naturally I decided I was going to look at the absolute best wrestling game I could find. One that not only had great gameplay but a super fun career mode that you could play for hours on end, and also featuring an in-depth creation suite as well. But unfortunately I couldn't find my copy of Shut Your Mouth, so I went with the next best thing. Backyard Wrestling 2, there goes the Neighbourhood. Oh boy! Now I looked at the first Backyard Wrestling game on my channel about a year ago, and if you've watched the video or just played the game yourself, then you'll know that it's not very good. I mean, the best thing about it is the video packages you could find in it. Watching these lovely gentlemen try to kill, end of life each other, and of course watching the insane clown posse try to formulate a well put together sentence.
Basically, my mother was a female wrestler that used to wrestle when she was pregnant for me. So, which means I've actually been a wrestler since I was a fetus.
1 year later, and I still have no idea what the fuck you're on about, Shaggy! The game wasn't good. Piss poor button mashing gameplay accompanied by a lot of glitches wasn't exactly screaming game of the year, and you can tell they relied way too heavily on the idea that edgy teens would buy this game based on the fact that it had a lot of violence and a lot of fucking cleavage. But regardless of my opinion of that game, I'm going to go into this one with a fresh mind. I mean, maybe the developers actually took in feedback from the previous game and focused more on tightening up the gameplay and less on gratuitous nudity. Let's just take a look at the cover. Oh god. The thing is with this game, straight off the bat, it confuses me. Firstly, for why it exists in general. Like, I don't think the first game really warranted a sequel, and secondly, for having a do not try this at home warning. Like, it makes sense when WWE have these warnings, but this is literally a game about backyard wrestling. You're literally at home when you do it, lads. I mean, what professionals are you referring to here? El Drunko or Supreme? Because I would really like to see their credentials. On the bright side, I can see they have learned from at least one of their past mistakes and chosen a different song for the menu. Now, it is pretty generic, but I'd still rather listen to this than a 5-second instrumental being played on a continuous mind-numbing loop. Much like last time, this game comes with a media room, so keeping with tradition, I thought I'd check it out first to see if the video package were as, exquisite? Yeah, let's go with that, as the previous games, and I'm happy to report they're somehow not as good. I mean, sure, you're getting to see some cool moves here, but they all feel super cobbled together. Like, you can tell fuck all effort went into these. There's absolutely no way you can convince me they spent any longer than 10 minutes putting these together. Just look at the state of that. There is nothing supreme about that, my friend. I mean, in the first game, you had these somewhat well put together packages. Like, they even had a video looking at a backstage press event they did with a whole wrestling show, which was pretty cool to see. And plus, it is kind of entertaining watching guys like ICP act like my last two brain cells.
Take a 400-pound man and put him up against a 100-pound man.
But this time round, all you have is free music videos that are on par with my editing skills. Yeah, maybe don't use a clip where you have to blur half the screen next time, lads. And these silent wrestler video packages, which in theory should be cool, but in execution, they're pretty piss poor, with the only music played throughout all of these being that of the main menu music. Could you not have given each video different music to make the individual wrestlers stand out a bit? Maybe add in, I don't know, their entrance theme perhaps? Like, come on guys, you know how Vampiro feels about his music.
Where's the fucking music?
Although, on the bright side, speaking of wrestlers, another positive aspect of this game is that it has a much more notable roster to it. Instead of having a roster full of mostly random backyard wrestlers like the God Amongst Men Gupta, this time we have guys like Sick Nick Mondo, Ruckus, Sanjay Dutt, making his second appearance on my channel since being in the TNA video game. You really don't have good luck with video games, do you, mate? You have Extreme Championship Wrestling legends like Sandman and New Jack, who for legal reasons I have to say is a perfectly normal and not at all absolute batshit insane person. I mean, just look at these tweets. Surely these are the thoughts of an intellectual of the highest caliber. The fear of being eaten by a sandwich. You get a kick out of kicking me? Give him the finger. I woke up screaming, fuck the world. I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I spent the 4th naked and not afraid. I don't give a fuck if you're off today. Go to Burk. Come here and smell my finger. I got so drunk the day after Christmas, I ended up in hospital. I am a beast. And quite possibly my favorite tweet. fuck you, and the fuck you too, fuck Uber, fuck Toys R Us, fuck a dead guy, fuck a bitch that don't appreciate shit, fuck a stalker. What did Toys R Us do? And of course we have the star of the show making her glorious return, Tylene Buck. But what's that? A new challenger approaches.
Jesus!
Oh my god, they've put in Zandig. If you don't know who this man is, I'll just play the clip.
Oh my god, what the fuck just happened?
What do you mean what happened? What are you, blind? Jesus!
So naturally, after seeing this inclusion, I knew there was only one match I could do. Is this okay? You're damn right it is. I quickly selected which level I wanted this fight of the decade to place in, and was then treated to quite possibly the best intro I have ever seen in any wrestling match.
I am still the queen.
Here comes the ultra-violence.
Right, I'm done. May as well give the game 7 stars and call it a wrap, boys. Every match opens up with these intros, which are different for every level, and believe me when I tell you, whether intentional or not, they are fucking fantastic. All the intros also include voiceovers by the wrestlers, but when these intros actually happen, they'll just randomly say different lines which don't make any sense when you put it all together.
I am Ninja.
No contest. Come on. Fight back.
Plus, as you can probably tell, a lot of the voiceovers are horrendous, but I feel that only adds to how fucking funny these are.
The horn dog has come again.
What's up, bitch? Backyard is finished. Do something.
Sup?
Get ready to lose.
Created to win. Oh.
And here's a personal favourite of mine with Sandman screaming out a drive-through window.
Yeah!
Much like the last game, you have a few different levels to pick from too, which to be fair to them are all unique enough, going from the backyard hitting people with a weed whacker, to cutting up New Jack with a chainsaw in the trailer park, which is probably a situation he's been in before in all honesty. Every map has various things you can get thrown into that explodes upon impact, different weapons that you can use to inflict bodily harm, and on top of that you have a new feature where you can do a big environmental attack, which is where you drag your opponent over to a specific point, and the symbol will pop above your head indicating you can do it. From there, all you do is press triangle and you're taken into a nice little cutscene. To be fair, I think this new feature is actually pretty cool, encouraging you to use the map a little more to your advantage, although a lot of these environmental attacks end up being pretty similar with you just powerbombing someone through a table. All in all, the maps are decent enough, but I can't help but feel they aren't as good as the first games, which is something I never thought I would be saying. Like in the first game, you had more to interact with and much bigger environments to explore, with a lot more crazier stuff you could jump off of. These maps, while having interesting aspects, all feel a little more tame in comparison though, and come across as a little bit of a downgrade. However, having decent maps is one thing, but having good gameplay is another. Now effectively, the first game could be summed up as spam circle to win, and was pretty all over the place with horrible hit detection and terrible control sensitivity. So you'd think this game would learn from its mistakes and take the feedback on board to craft much better gameplay. But then your expectations would be too fucking high. It feels like I'm playing the exact same game. Sure, they fixed some problems like adding in the block button, submissions, and not having you running around like Sonic. But besides that, this game suffers from all the same major issues as the original, if not more. First off, hit detection. Again, fucking abysmal, as it seems you don't need to actually be anywhere near the AI for them to hit you. I'm safe up here. Trying to dash results in you losing all control of your character, but it's not like you had much to begin with. There's no point in trying to use weapons or the environmental attacks, as the environmental attacks are kinda awkward to set up, and weapons have a bit of a delay to them when going for a big attack, meaning it can easily get broken up. Plus, even picking up weapons in the first place seems like a fucking task, as you can be right next to one on the ground, but the game just won't register it and you'll get clocked. And much like the last game, every match ends up with you spamming the controller to try and hit your opponent first. Literally, the game just evolves into whoever can hit X the fastest wins, which as you can guess becomes super dull and repetitive after 2 minutes. Oh, and of course it wouldn't be backyard wrestling without a few glitches thrown in there for good measure. Huh, teleporting armbar. That's a new one. It isn't just control issues though, some of the animations for moves look really sloppy with models just phasing through one another, or alternatively, some animations just look fucking awful. As well as all that, in-game sound effects are hilariously bad, with aspects like hitting someone with a weed whacker or a light tube sounding more like a minor inconvenience for the person, rather than, you know, something that's supposed to be really fucking painful. Ah, the strong silent type I see. Although in saying that, we do get some absolute gems when it comes to voice acting.
Shit!
Funnily enough, enough, that can also sum up how smart the AI is. Shit. And to top it all off, the game looks kinda ugly too.
Consider your ass.
And consider your face. Pretty fucked. Right, well, I've looked at everything. That's it. I'm done. I don't want to play this. What do you mean I've got to do a career mode? I don't want to fucking do the career mode. You can't I don't want to play this game anymore. Oh no. What was I thinking? I've got to go through the career mode now. Isn't that fun?
No.
So besides the exhibition mode, the only other thing you can do in this game is play through the career mode. But before we get into actually doing this career mode, you need to make your own custom wrestler. So I made this. Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. One nice thing I will say is that the creation mode has been drastically improved. You actually have a fair bit of variety when it comes to creating your own backyard wannabe this time round. You have different clothing items that you can change the colors to. Hell, you can change their weight if you want.
Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick, boy. That's a thick-ass boy! Damn.
And also, you can change their face style. Yep, that's an Abe if I've ever seen one. Now, sure, the customization has absolutely nothing on other games that came out around this time, but in comparison to the last game, it's fucking miles ahead. So now we move on to the career mode, and you know what? Despite my negativity, and even after seeing how terrible most of the game was, I still had faith that this career mode might be a shining beacon of hope for this game. That it could perhaps somehow justify me buying this for £3 on eBay. So it starts off with a news broadcast, which has some...
Welcome back. It was a case of limousine riding and jet flying and...
immaculate lip syncing. Basically, this news report cuts to a press conference being held by the president of Backyard Wrestling Incorporated. Wait, excuse you? He says that the town will be holding this mega pay-per-view event called There Goes the Neighbourhood. Now this mega event will have some of the world's most dangerous and hardcore wrestlers in it, with the grand prize being $10 million on the line. Who the fuck is this guy, Mr. Beast? Oh, and guess what? This lovely gentleman has held a spot in the main event for you. Oh. How did you know my dream was to be stabbed by New Jack? From there, some poor news reporter gets wrecked, and you're transitioned into the main menu, where you pick which region you want to fight in, and you also have a shop, where you can buy stuff for the media room, or for more items to customize your wrestler with. Which is something, I suppose. Now, after saying all this, I was starting to think maybe, just maybe, they put some actual effort into this career mode. So I went to the first region you could go, which was the backyard, and seen that you could do different missions. With these missions, just asking you to do basic stuff like punch and kick your opponent 3 times, or hit them with a weed whacker. Okay, starting to lose me game, so I selected punching and kicking, got transported into the match, and started fighting a generic creator wrestler. Oh no, I'm getting TNA flashbacks. With hope fading fast, I quickly dispatched of this lovely gentleman, and went on to quickly do another mission. Blocking, that could be fun, I guess. I'm wrestling another random backyarder. This is it, isn't it? Right, excuse me, I'm gonna punch a hole in my desk. This is all the career mode has to offer. You play against multiple generic fucking backyard wrestlers, doing lame objectives that I could have learned through a tutorial, and once you've played through all these boring matches, you then get the chance to do challenges, which is exactly the same shit, just now you get to wrestle the occasional Zandig. Once you do all these exciting and not at all repetitive challenges, you then just move on to the next region and do the exact same shit over and over again. And then once you slog through all that for 3 different regions, you get entered into a title tournament where you wrestle more generic backyarders for that tier title. And when you win that tier title, you get a congratulations screen that looks like this. So much effort went into that. I mean, you do get a cutscene as well afterwards, but they're not good. Oh, and I hope you enjoyed all that, because you'll have to do it several more times in this fucking game. The career mode, stunningly, is as bad as the rest of the game. All you do is play repetitive, boring matches. It's not fun, and the random cutscenes that pop up throughout, while being ironically funny to my lowbrow sense of humor, 100% do not make up for the rest of the game. Like, I don't know what to say, there's nothing entertaining here, and I think I would have more fun being dropped to my fucking head. Scratch that. Neither is a pleasant experience. So in summary, Backyard Wrestling 2 is the exact same game as Backyard Wrestling 1, having some alright new additions which are cool and all, but that doesn't cover up for the awfully dull, repetitive, sloppy and overall terrible gameplay, as well as an insanely boring career mode which outstandingly is worse than the first games. Overall, my only takeaways from playing this game is that 1, is pretty fucking awful, 2, I will never ever get back that £3 I wasted on it, and 3, Zandig is an Oscar-worthy voice actor. See you later!